Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I thought I would do a quick video. Good Lord, look at my hair. It looks insane. It is still a little bit of humidity here in Texas. This is what happens. And I can't wait until the fall really comes in, not just for a couple of hours every day. But I'm here at Toyota in Austin, Texas, waiting for my oil change, and I got my free coffee, so I thought I would do just a quick little video. So what I wanted to talk about today was I've been watching some videos on YouTube, which I always do. I consume probably more YouTube videos than I do create, but a lot of things that I watch naturally attracts my attention because it is the journey that I've been on since 2022. I got laid off August 2022, and I've been laid off 3 times since the pandemic, all from mortgage companies, and it's not been a fun ride for me. It was fun until it wasn't fun, meaning getting laid off and having time off after working, tons of overtime during 2021, and then being laid off, and you get a nice little vacation with unemployment, which I was able to live off of only because I have a couple of other sources of income. Long story short, I have been still on a mental roller coaster ride about what I should be doing with this YouTube channel, and I'm conflicting between two things here. Turning my channel into a business, which, just to give you some context, it would kind of be like being a life coach, helping other people determine their worth, their value, especially people that have a full-time job and they really want to start creating something, even if it's just on the side of your full-time business. And I have a lot of friends here in Austin, so I check up on them regularly. And I do have one other friend in the tech industry that's been laid off multiple times, and lucky for him, he's always bouncing back. But, getting laid off, I felt like, this was back in 2022. I still didn't even realize until I've been through the grinder in 2024 how bad the job market is. I was still having my fantasies about, let me just wait until January when all the companies start hiring again. And, they've got their new budget. And you guys, I have been lowballed. I've seen, job dollar amounts that are paying what is worth for that job title. And I've seen pay that is not worth that job title, like just such conflicting information. Long story short, it wasn't until kind of going through a bunch of interviews, getting burned by a nationwide home builder, which I will not mention, who royally screwed me the day before my start date, in which at that time I had a trip to London planned. And it was just too late to go at that point because hotels were hard to find than they were just 2 months prior. So, make long story short, it has become really apparent to me that even more, 2 years of being laid off, I can't depend on a full-time job for a living wage. And it's not just about everybody needs a side hustle, because a lot of people, y'all don't need side hustles. What y'all need to do is take a look at your expenses, lower your expenses, meal plan, meal prep, freeze food, make food cheaper, stop eating out, stop going to coffee shops. That's what a lot of y'all need to do, not really just to get a second job. But there are a lot of us that need multiple jobs. Now, for me, I drive Lyft and Uber right now for 2/3 of my income. I have 2 other sources of income. I'll just say sources of income because legally they're not income, so they don't get taxed like income that I do get. And that is the only way I'm surviving right now. So basically, I am still trying to find what is it that I really want to do with this YouTube channel? And I mean, I definitely have some ideas. It's just, I get really conflicted between being a content creator, or, let me scratch that. I get conflicted between either making YouTube into a business where I'm selling digital products, ebooks, maybe courses, just inexpensive digital products, teaching people what I already know in regards to being a graphic designer, loving branding, trying to build my own personal brand, and basically doing something the complete opposite of, 17 years of real estate that I've been doing. Or do I want to be the kind of content creator that just does lifestyle content, which would be maybe this video. I don't know. Part of me, I enjoy business. I enjoy talking about business. I enjoy helping people think more business-minded, I guess, if they're not naturally like that. I feel naturally like that because I started in real estate at such a young age, and I was like one of the youngest people in my real estate school at the time when I started at 23, and I wasn't even, I've met lots of people that started 18, 19, 20 into real estate. So now it's a dime a dozen. It's like real estate is now a first career versus like a second or third career for a lot of people. But make long story short, I'm conflicted between, do I want to have this business structure where I'm really, driving people to my website to buy my digital products, or do I just want to entertain, basically? And entertain meaning have chats like this, talk about lifestyle, lots of things, because I have many interests. So I am always fearing being pigeonholed into just one particular thing, especially with being laid off so many times since the pandemic. And even right now, I juggle multiple side hustles, not because I want to, but because I have to. And for example, I started my first Etsy shop in 2021. I built another one, 2022, totally different product, went digital this time. Both Etsy shops, I've brought it to 5-star reviews. There's pages and pages of 5-star reviews. And then I've always, even though there was a time when I was a reseller, I really have just been reselling my own personal things on Poshmark and eBay. And I have learned so much. Same thing, my Poshmark and my eBay 5-star seller account. And basically, I know I give really good customer service. I put myself out there. I show my face. I show my name. I brand things really good, or decently at least. I mean, I'm not a personal brand expert by any kind of certification, but I've realized that is what I do best. It's like coming up with the name and the concept and the idea, and not just the colors or the logo, but basically I take every little project that I start and I have to brand it, because when you niche and when you brand something, you're basically niching. You're niching, and you get to be in that little world, for a little bit. So I've even thought about starting, which I have technically started, multiple YouTube channels, but then I started realizing, okay, here I am trying to do too much. So make long story short, I want to grow this channel. I want to help people. I want to have real conversations. I know the way that I work in my personal life. I'm just a very direct and open person. I am somebody who, just being in real estate, I've had to grow accustomed to delivering bad news to people. So I'm definitely somebody that can just deal with the issue head on, even if somebody's upset. And basically, I'm a problem solver. That's kind of what you're trained being in mortgage, especially when you've worked with investors and really buyers. Things are always happening in mortgage and title, and this is why a lot of things don't make it to closing. So I like to be the person that, I like to put fires out. I have a very high tolerance for listening to people's drama. As long as they're not like crying and screaming, but I'm always somebody that's even trying to get my male friends to talk, tell me what's going on. And I also deliver a lot of hard truths. So I definitely feel like that is a good quality, and which is why I even thought that, if I do YouTube as a business, I would want to teach people probably personal branding, just because I know, even from my very first customer for Bad Girl Bomb, she literally said, I saw your shop, you didn't have any sales, but I saw your branding, and that's what made me want to trust buying from you. And she just loved it. She even loved the name. So I'll put the link in the description in case you want to see what Bad Girl Bomb is all about. But I know that the reason why my shops are at least successful with 5-star reviews, even though I'd love to scale to make more money from all of them, is customer service and branding. Now, I can't personal brand my Poshmark. I mean, you kind of can, but one of the things that I do with my Poshmark orders is I have a thank you card that goes into every single box. And I actually put, follow me on YouTube, follow my shop. And it's a really pretty, card. Even though I'm a graphic designer, I don't design everything from the ground up. I really don't. And time is money, and so I do use Canva, but I'm making it my own. So I don't know if I want to make YouTube into a business, which I feel like would solidify being able to make money. But I feel like there is so much on YouTube right now that oh, that's a UPS guy. Hey, UPS guy, I hope you don't get laid off, because I just saw a video that they laid off another 12,000 workers. All because of Amazon. Remember when UPS used to deliver for Amazon? I remember. That's how long I've been buying from Amazon. It's really bright here in Austin, Texas, so I do have my shades on. I'm not wearing much makeup today, so back to my thought. I'm over here at Toyota trying to hide myself in between cars, sitting on the ground, thinking that, okay, no one's gonna see me. But guess what? Lots of cars and trucks have driven by. People have been walking around, service guys, salespeople. So it's kind of funny. You go somewhere for some privacy and you're like, oh. So guess what? I'm just gonna keep recording. So yes, that is my conflict. It's like, do I turn YouTube into a business, or do I just do lifestyle? And there's more money to be made in one, because it's a little bit more of the direct selling, right? But I really want to inspire people. And I guess in my head, and I'm writing it in my Google Docs, I have literally a Google Doc called YouTube Video Ideas, and I categorize all of my videos by subject. And I guess the only thing I can think of is, how can I combine everything together, And the only way that I can think of is really what I started to do back in January 2021. By then, I had already been laid off twice since the pandemic. I'd been laid off twice in 2020. That was so scary as a single mom. And that's what lit that fire under my butt. And, I think maybe if I just share with people my why, the big scary thing that happened, and my why that said, you've got to do something besides a full-time job. But just the process, when I did get my old job back at the very end of 2020, I started to do a couple of things that I know led to me being able to even grow something outside of a normal full-time job and overtime. First of all, I was working from home. That really helped. You avoid driving in traffic. You avoid feeling like, oh, I want to leave the office, or staying cooped up in the office for that whole hour and then feeling like, oh my gosh, you've never left the building for like 9 hours. So I was working from home. I felt like that was the only way, but it's really not the only way to make it work. It's just that I had that flexibility, sort of having more time, not having to get dressed, not having to really put on makeup, not having to drive was the big thing. And my child still being in after school care. So I didn't have to pick him up until 6:30, which also even gave me sometimes like an entire hour to myself at home to work on something. So a couple of things I was doing, I started reading James's Clear Atomic Habits. I feel like when you are going from a W-2 job to the mindset of an entrepreneur, you really need to learn structure. Now, on a good note, for those of y'all who work a full-time job, we all have a routine. We typically have a structure within our job. So when you're starting your first side hustle, you really just need to form your own structure, because you're not working your job unless you're starting a side hustle that's literally mimicking your current job. But when you're starting a side hustle project, you need to develop that routine. And I felt like, instead of like taking a class of someone teaching it to me, I wanted the structure of reading in my book 30 minutes a day the moment I woke up. And for the most part, I would make my coffee and I would still be so groggy. Y'all, it takes me about 30 minutes to wake up. I would be so tired that all I could do was open my eyes, drink my coffee, and read. So I feel that I've lost touch with the routine for a good year. I know, this is why I feel like I'm all over the place. I definitely want to go back and start reading James Clear, Atomic Habits again. Okay, it doesn't have to be James Clear. It could be anything. The other thing I was doing that I still do right now is I wake up a good hour and a half before my child wakes up. My son is in elementary school, so, they got to be at school like 7:30 in the morning. Again, that first 30 minutes is really turn on the lights slowly over the course of 30 minutes, read a little bit, make your coffee, go pee, drink water. There's another truck coming by. It's a tow truck. Probably bringing somebody's car here. So, waking up an hour and a half before my child. That way I had complete peace and quiet. The other thing that I still do now, I try my best unless I'm just really exhausted. Once I put my kid to bed, that last hour is also me time. It's me time to decompress. It's me time to open up my planner and mentally say like, okay, well, what am I going to do tomorrow? What is the intention for tomorrow? And just kind of have a clear head. I don't always do it. Sometimes I wake up and then I plan my day, but I can honestly tell you, when you just write down anywhere, it doesn't have to be in a planner, you're just, in a way, you're already lessening your anxiety before you go to bed. Because let me tell you, I get financial anxiety. When I have it's weird because I don't get anxious, but the one type of anxiety that I get is financial. And I am the girl that will wake up in the middle of the night and have to go write down certain things I need to do when I wake up, because maybe it just suddenly got to me like, ooh, I need to check my credit card balance. Did I make micro payments to my credit card? Because I use my credit card for points and then I trade them in for Amazon gift cards. These days I'm trying to do it now for just like keeping Amazon gift cards in case I need to order anything that I need, like toilet paper, groceries, whatever. Not necessarily to blow my money, but yeah, so I'll use it for gas and groceries because I get gas, it's like $50 every time you're filling up. And then groceries, I at least get 3 times the points for spending it at a grocery store or restaurant. And then I pay it off. I'm paid off right away from my checking. So I'm not really paying a credit card bill with interest, but I'm getting the points for it. A little tricky. Sometimes I take a break from it just because I get overwhelmed. And so that's where my best way of doing it has just been just use it for gas and food so that you can just total up all the gas, make one little payment, and the money's already in your checking. So I'm not trying to get into credit card hacks, even though I love talking about credit. So James Clear, waking up before my child, it's not even your child. Wake up before your husband or boyfriend, or if you're a man, wake up before your wife or your kids or whatever, and just work on forming your side hustle project. I mean, whatever you want to call it, building a business, building just a side hustle, or you're just working on a project. And it doesn't even have to pertain to starting a business. I mean, if you're just trying to increase your educational skills in something, use that time to do an online class. Okay? And I'm telling you, my soul is fulfilled when I do anything for myself before I get in the car and drive Uber, before I would start my job at 8:30 in the morning. Even if it's watching a couple of YouTube videos because I'm learning a specific strategy on doing something to scale my business or to scale my side hustle. I feel so fulfilled when I do something for myself. And this, I truly believe, this is the only way for those of y'all that have a 9-to-5. You're not going to have any energy at the end of the day. Now, if you're driving to and from work, that is a really good time to also be learning. Find YouTube videos to listen to. Find a podcast that talks about what it is you're trying to do or learn, and feed yourself that. I used to listen to things also while I was at work. I was able to put on my AirPods because I was in the row of sales guys, all the loan originators talking so loud around me. I would bring my noise canceling headphones to work. This was before the pandemic. And if anything, I was watching YouTube videos. I would just switch back and forth between educational stuff and entertainment on YouTube or podcasts, because there's certain things in mortgage that I could do actually listening to somebody else talk about strategy. And then there are some things where I was like, oh yeah, I can't listen to people's words. I need, focus music. I need lyricless music and stuff like that. So, but my point is, I was feeding myself knowledge and information about what I was trying to do in between actually doing the thing. And that actually helped progress me even more. And I'm trying to go back to the things that I did with a 9-to-5 job. And basically go back to those principles. It's been a little rough because, as you get older, boy, do you want to sleep in more. You need more sleep as you get older. So hopefully you're getting enough sleep. But just finding these little pockets of time for yourself, y'all, even when I'm washing the dishes, I like to hand wash my dishes, even though I had a brand new dishwasher when I moved into my apartment because it was remodeled. That thing doesn't clean anything. So I use it to dry. Also, I kind of feel like there is something therapeutic just touching water. Try it. Make yourself foaming hand soap so you're not just wasting a bunch of soap. But try hand washing dishes, cleaning the kitchen, doing your laundry. I even blow dry my hair with my AirPods in, y'all. Why? Because I'm trying to maximize my time. It's called multitasking. Women do it best. Or in James Clear's book, it's called habit stacking. You're either, instead of sitting on the couch and watching a Netflix, case in point, Emily in Paris, today, second half of season 4. I've already binged watched season 4, episodes 1 through 4 or 5, like multiple times since it came out. Guess what? I'm listening to Emily in Paris. I'm watching Sex and the City or listening in my earbuds while I'm doing all of the things around the house so that I can save more time to sit and actually work on my business. Like right now, my oil is getting changed. Okay, and then I'm gonna go drive Uber for a little bit while in between running errands. I am multitasking. This is the only way. It's to find the little micro ounces of your time and just doing the thing, right? Even if it's gonna take you 5 mini sessions, it's called the Pomodoro, even though it's gonna take you like 5 mini moments to complete your goal of recording and editing a YouTube video, do it. Just get it started. But long story short, I really want to combine designing products that are really going to help people, and because if anything, that's what I've already been doing. I've already been making money from my planner shop. I just rebranded my planner shop. Oh, it's like someone's flying a private little cute plane. Not a jet, but a plane. I've already been selling digital products. I love designing. I didn't mention this earlier, but when I entered college, I was an art major. I was a graphic design major. And here we are, 20-something years later, and I'm coming full circle. I'm self-taught. Everything that I do with my planner shop, called Ink and Paper now, it used to be Planner Therapy Shop. So if you buy something and you see Planner Therapy on it, I'm not going to go back and update all the products I've already created. I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to update. So it's Ink and Paper right now, theinkandpaper.com. But I really want to show people how planning and utilizing some of these planning strategies like the Pomodoro method and some other things have specifically helped me. And in all honesty, I also want to talk about the times when I am repelled to look at my planner. Sometimes when you've done planning or anything for so long, you just want to I don't even want to look at it. And I would literally just pull out a Post-it note and I would just write down one thing I'm going to do that day or 2 things. And that's usually when I have so much going on that it brings me down that I write, this is what I'm going to do today. And then I don't accomplish but like one thing. So I kind of trick my brain to just take a break from using my own planner and being so, meticulous, and I take a break. It's like a little vacation for your mind. And I will literally get a Post-it note, or I will just grab one of my spirals that I still have spiral notebooks, and I will just open the spiral and write my to-do list. I'll be honest. So anyways, if anyone out there was having the conflict like me of deciding, what are you going to do with YouTube? I mean, I know I'm supposed to niche. I know, but it's so hard. I just really want to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And for the most part, so far, it seems like I could easily tie things into each other, but I don't always want to sell. I don't always want to be like, planner this, planner that, and you're not this unless you do that with planning, blah, blah, blah. Because the truth is, most of the time that I've come up with every single side hustle, it's not when I was sitting there forcing myself. Oh, that sounded like somebody just crashed. So making a long story short, I didn't come up with doing all of the things that I do, that I've been doing, just by forcing myself to sit there and come up with a business name and do this and do that. I came up with all of these things in between living life. So even though I love designing planner products and the structure of a piece of paper, and I love building forms, I've always loved building forms, I am not somebody that wants to be sell, okay? Maybe this is why I wasn't a good realtor. I was never into somebody that wanted to sell you a house just because of the commission. I was the apartment locator that would tell people, if you're moving for a $40 raise, that's not worth for you to move for. It is cheaper to not move in the expense of moving than it is to move every year for a darn $40 rent raise. Now, it's probably different if rent is going up by like $100. So long story short, I'm going to end this video. Sorry it's been too long, but there's a lot of distraction going on here, and it's keeping me from getting to my own point of things. So yeah, I guess I won't be filming here again, but at least I got a video out today. Yay! Subscribe to my channel, and I'll have more stuff for you. Adios.